Go out there, each one gets close to us, and they wrote down our here today, Lord. And Lord, just be with Felicia and Cindy on their way back, Lord, and get them back home to us safely. Watch over this service tonight, Lord, and this anoint Sharon and the heads of her toes, Lord, and this use for the way you want to use it, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Yes, ma'am. Evening. First, I want to say thank you to YouTube and Facebook for allowing us to be live. A reminder that we do not own the rights to any musical videos. Sharon is bringing our words tonight, but she's also the prayer warrior this week. So, send her anything that you have for the prayer over this week. I'll be teaching Bible study this Wednesday in the house at 6:30. A reminder, crack day is March 18th at 2 p.m. And there's always, usually we don't even use it, but there's always extra parking up the hill. And there's drinks and stuff in the fridge. The tithe and offering box is over there where Danielle's at. We have Cash App, it's $, CC. The link is always on our church page. Remember that any change that you have, you can bring in for the piggy bank for different outings that we have, so we don't have to have anybody pay for anything. We asked this morning about the wood and stuff, and Megan's brother's coming up tomorrow to check out that to see if we can get that split and done away with. So praise God for that. Anything, anybody else has anything to say about announcing anything else? So it's gonna be just a second because we're trying to get the whatever YouTube and Facebook that we just synced. We're trying to get it up and running. All right, very good.
Share. We don't have to act like we love each other, it looks like. Is it 10 now? What did you do? Which one's this? I tried Have you ever thought that the world is kind of lost its way? Crazy as it seems, I know it's gonna be okay. Ooh, yeah, it doesn't scare me, it's temporary. There's something better, we gotta run. And it won't be long, cause we know our hope is on the way. The way, so keep your head up. Jesus is coming back, Jesus is coming back. No, don't give up. Jesus is coming back, Jesus is coming back. And when the world gets complicated, we're gonna keep on celebrating. We know Jesus is coming back, Jesus is coming back. We gotta stay awake, cause nobody knows the day or time. No, the trumpet's gonna go and the skies are gonna open wide. Oh yeah, He's coming for us, just like he told us. It's been a long way, but there's a new day, and we're gonna sing hallelujah when the King arrives. Oh, you gotta keep your head up. Jesus is coming back. Jesus is coming back. Don't give up. No. Jesus is coming back. Jesus is coming back. And when the world is complicated, we're gonna keep on celebrating. Jesus is coming back. Jesus is coming back. Are you ready? Are you ready? People get ready. People get ready. Are you ready? Are you ready? People get ready. People get ready. Are you ready? Are you ready? People get ready. Yeah, let's get ready. Oh, it's coming back. Jesus is coming back. Jesus is coming back. Don't you give up. Jesus is coming back. Jesus is coming back. And when the world is complicated, we're gonna keep on celebrating. 'Cause we know Jesus is coming back. Jesus is coming back. Are you ready now? Are you ready now? We just want to surrender. Jesus is coming back. Jesus is coming back. So keep your head up. Jesus is coming back. Jesus is coming back. Yes. What did you do? Because your accounts gives you the location. Yeah. Come on. Let's get. We will roll. Yeah. When darkness tries to go over my bones, when sorrow comes to steal the joy I own, when brokenness and pain is all I know, oh, I won't be shaken. No, I won't be shaken. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I'm standing in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I'm standing in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I'm standing in your love. You no longer have a place to hide. I am not captive to the lies. I'm not afraid to leave my past behind. No, I won't be shaken. No, I won't be shaken. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I'm standing in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I'm standing in your love. Doesn't stand a chance when I'm standing in your love. There's power that can break off every chain. There's power that can take me out of the grave. There's resurrection power that can save. Power in your name. Power in your name. Power that can break off every chain. in your name, power in your name. Doesn't stand a chance. Stand in your love. Doesn't stand a chance. Stand in your love. Doesn't stand a chance. Stand in your There's gotta be more than going back and forth. Doing right, doing wrong. 'Cause we were taught it's who we are. Come on, get right behind me. You and God, everybody. Thinking this world and what you do. Then I can hear you take the stage when we're on the edge of our seat, saying it's too late. Let me introduce you to amazing grace. No matter the bumps, no matter the bruises, no matter the scars, still the truth is a cross has made, the cross has made you flawless. No matter the hurt, what I think the world is, no matter the pain, still the truth is a cross has made, the cross has made you flawless. Couldn't possibly be, we simply can't believe that it's unconditional kind of love being loved to take a filthy wretch like this and wrap it up in righteousness. That's exactly what he did. No matter the bumps, no matter the bruises, no matter the scars, still the truth is a cross has made, the cross has made you flawless. No matter the hurt, or how you hold is, no matter the pain, still the truth is a cross has made, the cross has made you flawless. Take a breath, smile, and say right here, right now, I'm okay. 'Cause the cross loves you now. And like a hero takes the stage when we're on the edge of our seat, saying it's too late. Let me introduce you to grace, grace, God's grace. No matter the bumps, no matter the bruises, no matter the scars, still the truth is the cross has made, the cross has made you flawless. And no matter the hurt, or how deep the wound is, no matter the pain, still the truth is the cross has made, the cross has made you flawless. No matter what they say. Anybody have a song? What kind of song are you looking for?
The gospel song.
I thought I was going to sing. Thank me, huh? Everybody seems kind of quiet tonight, but hey,
Waiting on you, get going.
no pressure. Let's get excited. We're in the house tonight. Tonight, we're going to talk about some focus and some balance. Balance is something I don't have much of. It is kind of funny at times when I swim around. But the main scripture I want to read tonight is Proverbs chapter 11. When you find it, say hallelujah. Dun, 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 dun. Amen. Hallelujah, everybody. Stand up. Let's read. Proverbs chapter 11, verse 1. A false balance is abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is a delight. Tonight you can be seated. We're going to talk about balance right now. Balance plays a role in all of our lives. If there wasn't balance in the earth, we couldn't be standing here. And it affects everything that we do. It affects our physical life, our emotional life, and also our spiritual life. But what is balance? It is an even distribution, that's a hard word for me to say, this distribution of weight enabling someone or something to remain upright and steady. A condition in which different elements are equal or in a correct position. Now, the other day I had a good, we all know what balance is, but the other day I was in the laundromat, me and some other ladies was sitting there. The washers was going, and all of a sudden we heard this ginormous, hideous, it wasn't hideous, but it was very scary noise. And this strong vibration, and we was all looking around. I was all kind of scared looking at each other like, what in the world? And one of them big ginormous washers that's about this tall. Dee knows what kind I'm talking about because she goes to the laundromat sometimes. But they're half as big as my car out there. But it was off balance and it was vibrating, and we was all looking at each other. We thought it was going to explode or take off one. But the big heavy load inside of it was off balance. It's what caused it to do that, and what caused it to not be able to work right. If things get off balance, they cannot work right. And some other things that I thought of, hey, what else about balance or physical balances? You know how when your tires get out of balance? Has anybody's tires ever been out of balance?
Yes.
These over our life and tires must have. Mine have. I've had a hard time with these silly tires. They're new, but thank God I have them. But keep them balanced. But going down the interstate, when I get to a certain speed, what happens when your tires is out of balance? Hey, Zane, how are you doing tonight, buddy? Does anybody know what your tires are doing? They bounce, they vibrate. That is the office ride you'll ever have. Bouncing and vibrating in your steering wheels. So it's not a good thing when things get out of balance. And another thing we used to do as kids that has to do with your balance. Did you ever spin around it? Well, I don't want to do it now, but spin around in circles as fast as you can and then try to walk. And you can't go to where you.
Yeah.
I kind of do that now, but it ain't because I spin around in circles. But anyway, all of these are physical balance. And there's many things that can cause us to be off balance. I bet Katie's spun around in the circle and tried to walk, haven't you, Katie? Yeah. But there's also that spiritual balance. A false balance. Because you know you can get a false balance. It's false spiritual balance. But what does this mean? What is false? Do you know what false is? It's not according with the truth or the facts. Incorrect. Deliberately made or meant to mean deceived, to deceive something. And our first verse, it tells us that a false balance is abomination to God. A false balance is incorrect and not a true balance. So what is abomination? You know what abomination is? It's a thing that causes disgust or hatred. So what do you think would disgust God if it's a false balance? What would cause us to have a false balance spiritually? Sin. God hates sin. It disgusts him. He cannot look upon sin. And that sin causes us to be out of balance. But what are some things that causes us to be out of balance? A lot of things. I couldn't name them all. I'd be standing here all night naming them. But even just in this chapter 11, I wrote down some of the things that I saw. Then there's many, many more. Yes, Keith.
You know something that can weigh us down.
What? Weight. Yes, it can. That's why we try to lose weight. But some of the things that causes us to get imbalanced or off balance or have a false balance in our spirit, that is sin. And sometimes I have been guilty of this, is pride. And the majority of us can say, me on that one.
Yeah.
Pride, a proud look, unfaithfulness to God. How many of us are faithful to do what he wants us to do? Deliberately going against God and his word. That could be another me for most of us. Swift to run to mischief and evil. I bet you can't wait to, hey,
Come on.
Teresa, do you know what Sherry said to me today? Do you know what she did? I ain't telling. Just kidding, by the way, just kidding. Oh, she went to Krispy Kreme and bought me some donuts. But you know what? It was Dunkin' Donuts, but you know what I brought? What was that? You know what? Did they eat them all?
But that's not false. It's true.
But I was running and telling. Running and swift with the tongue. She did it. There's 2 more left.
Others had their hand in
Oh.
there.
But, and then lying. Does anybody ever lie? Or telling false tales. Bearing a false witness on somebody else.
Yeah,
Telling something on somebody else that's not true.
there you go.
Evil and wicked imaginations. Are you always thinking of evil things? All of these things throw us out of balance. Even if it's just one, we're out of balance. Out of balance. A false balance. It's an abomination to God. And there's all through the Bible, it tells us things that will throw us out of balance, things that are wrong. The works of the flesh, which are listed. I was afraid Michelle was going to read it this morning, but she didn't. But in Galatians chapter 5, verse 19 through 21, list the works of the flesh. Every one of those will throw us out of balance with God in our spirit. Excuse me, Abby. And you know what? When we're out of balance, you know what happens that causes us other than the sin? It's when we lose our focus. We lose our focus on God.
Yeah, right there.
When we get off of that focus, we allow things to come in. And we get imbalanced with God.
Yeah.
But did you know our focus and our vision, it does affect our balance. And we were talking about our physical balance a while ago. And for me, I have Meniere's disease. I don't know if any of you know what that is. Dee Dee does. She had to deal with it with me. But it affects the vestibular nerve in my inner ear. And that vestibular nerve tells your brain what it's seeing and your balance. So I have a hard time. And it also causes lots of things. The Meniere's, it also causes my hearing loss. And it affects my balance. So sometime if you see me, if I start to go one way, I mean to go one way, but I end up staggering off. It's because of the Meniere's. It's a physical imbalance because of that disease. But it can't be corrected. I'm stuck with that. But with our spiritual imbalance, it can be corrected.
Yes.
Do you know how? So, but I want to ask you tonight, I mean, do you know what a focus is? Did I tell you what focus is? What do you do when you focus? Wow, that's what I did tonight. But it's a point that you concentrate. Unless you have ADD and then you kind of get lost, but you know. But it's a concentrating point. It's a direction where you direct your attention to. You asphyxiate on it. You zero in on it. You obsess over it. And you adapt to see clearly. Where is your focus tonight? Are you seeing clearly? Or have you lost your focus? Are you still focused on Jesus? Or are you focused on the things of the world that cause what? Or the works of the flesh. What does that cause? Imbalance. Are you imbalanced tonight? Well, in Romans chapter 12, verse 2, it says, "Be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God." Renew your mind. Reset your focus. Rewind, come back, get it out of that imbalance. Things in our life won't work right if you're off balance. We have to refocus. We have to get back to seeing clearly. Get your focus back on Jesus.
Amen.
Ephesians chapter 5, verse 22 through 24. And start with verse 22. They that put off concerning the former conversations, the old man, which is corrupt according to this deceitful lust. Would that be an imbalance? Would that be an abomination? Yes, abomination. And be renewed in your mind. See there it says again, be renewed. And that you put on the new man, which is after God. He is created in righteousness and true holiness. Not those things that we just read. You need to keep renewing your mind daily. Do it daily. But where do we get what we need daily? I can't get it. Good time. Out of this. This gives us what we need to do. This gives our correction. It also tells us what we don't need to do. It tells us those abominations to God that gets us out of balance. Do you feel like things in your life are out of balance today? Like that washer that I heard that was fixing to explode and doing all that rumbling? Do you feel like your world is just out of whack? And are you heavy inside like that washer was? Or like you've been spinning around in circles and you can't see clearly to go straight? Have you lost your focus tonight? If you have, you need to come and get things straightened out. Refocus. In our first verse that we read, it said, a just weight is a delight to him. If we're all in balance and living for God and living and having spiritual gifts and works for God, we're going to be in balance. How is your balance?
No.
So everything will run a lot smoother. I want to thank you for joining us on Facebook and YouTube. If you have anything, please contact us.